Hello everyone and welcome to the NetFortris tutorial on call scheduling so you can control how you want calls to come into your system and understand why and how it's set up in the system. Now to begin, you'll want to log into the admin web panel and go to the inbound call routing section, and from here we're going to go over how to create a scheduler and how to implement it into your call menus. So one thing to keep in mind is simply creating a scheduler does not do anything until you put it in the call menu so that call routing is impacted by these values. So for example, here you see all of my calls go to this menu I named Holidays initially. When they come in, they check is it New Year's, Memorial Day, and so on, eventually going to my main menu to check if it's business hours or not. However, you'll see a plus and a minus. These are conditional steps. If it is within this date and time, go to the plus. If it's not, continue on to the next step, is essentially the logic. So if it is New Year's, I basically tell it to go to a menu called Holiday Closed. Now, you can do whatever you like here, make it play the after hours holiday greeting here if you like. In my case, I find it most useful to send it to a holiday menu where I can control it easily from there. Now, if it's not, you'll see it'll continue on eventually, like I mentioned, and we're going to be introducing a Labor Day holiday to this, and I'll show you how to create all of those steps. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to the upper right corner here where we have the scheduler. And here you'll want to now click on Create. Now here we get to pick date or weekday. Weekday is what you would typically use for your weekly business hours. You can set the days that you're open, what time you open, what time you close, real simply all in one step. Now for the holidays, we're going to be selecting date, and this lets you select a specific date, start and stop time. So for this one, we're going to name it Labor Day. Give it a description of Labor Day. Now, time zone, you could pick from any of the countries, in this case, US. Time zone, it's going to pull from the site time zone by default. So the system supports multiple sites. If you have them in different time zones or parts of the world, you'll want to leave it this way so it'll use whatever that site's time zone has. Otherwise, you can specify a specific time zone yourself here. Now, for the Labor Day, we're going to go ahead and you can either type it in, or I'm going to X out and just pick the calendar here. Go to September 6th, and this is the time that it's going to start. Don't worry about that message here. We're about to address it by setting the stop time. Also going to be September 6th, and it's going to end at the end of the day, 11:59 p.m. So start at 12 midnight and at the end right before the next day midnight. So we'll click Create Schedule, and now you see we get a little check mark and the schedule has been created. We can verify this by going back to the schedule, and you'll see Labor Day right here. Now we're going to go back to the call menu, in my case, Holidays. And I'm going to delete the last step here to introduce this new step. Now, you'll notice that everything in my case looks kind of in order. That's okay. It doesn't have to be. This is done purely out of preference. It could be in any order. It doesn't matter so long as the last step indicates go to the main menu. Right? Check all of these. Is it holiday or not? If it is, go to the Holiday Closed. Otherwise, go to the menu. So we'll click on Edit. We'll do a conditional step. From the drop down here, select Schedule. We'll name it Labor Day. Now, from the drop down, we'll pick Labor Day that we just created. And the match type says within or not within. Typically, all these are set up for within. That means if it falls within that time or if it falls outside of. It's kind of an inverted option. Most folks will just select within. So we'll click Save. And this creates a new scheduler step. Now I'll move this over here and we'll add, if it's not Christmas, go to Labor Day to check that. And right now you'll see the holiday close steps needs to be created. So we'll do a transfer to a menu. We'll call that holiday closed 6. Again, personal preference, it really doesn't matter what you set it to, but it does matter the destination. And mine is holiday closed. Now I'll click save. It creates that step now for us. I'll zoom out, move it over here to make it look neat. If it is Labor Day, go there to the holiday closed. If not, continue on to the main menu. So that's pretty much it. Now this will account for Labor Day in my holiday scheduled checking. Now don't forget to click on save. So you see that little green check mark to apply that. And now the next calls I would route through would obey this Labor Day holiday. Now to quickly show you as well the business hours, how that looks. In my case, it goes to the main menu. So it'll begin from here at the top and route along just to the business hours. So that was the rule that we showed you earlier for the Monday through Saturday, Sunday through Saturday. In this case, when it is business hours, it continues on to a call menu. If it's not, it plays my closed message. So that covers how to create a schedule, whether it's business hours or a holiday, and how to implement it in your call menu. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day.